Welcome back. Let's begin with our main story tonight. And a lawyer for one of the customers of gold dealership firm Men's Gold has appealed to government to confiscate the assets belonging to Chief Executive Officer and owner of the firm, Nana Apia Mensah. According to the lawyer Amanda Clinton, it's heartbreaking to know that the CEO of the gold dealership firm is currently walking around as a free man with all his assets accessible to him. We'll be going to speak to the phone lines to speak to Amanda. But before we do that, actually, earlier this month, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta says government has no intention of bailing out customers of the gold dealership firm Men's Gold. He actually described the investors, and I quote him, as greedy. Let's hear the Finance Minister and we'll come back for the discussion.
Yes, there's one issue that maybe I need to mention, which the senior minister mentioned, which is dealing with Ponzi schemes as we try to clean up the financial services sector. I know the SEC has come down hard and strong and justifiably on Men's Gold, but the issue with a company like Men's Gold is, as I even look at the Ministry of Finance, and I see some people at the Ministry of Finance who have invested there. I look at the Bank of Ghana, and I see some people at the Bank of Ghana who have invested there, and of course the military, etc. So it becomes an issue of greed as a people and our own behavior when we are so clear, as educated as we might be, that when we went there was no license, and we chose then to do that. I think it is not in the place of government to fund or get your money back for you. It was an obvious trap that you went into. But maybe we as an industry should also push the whole issue of education.
All right, so that was Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. Amanda Clinton is a lawyer for one of the customers of Men's Gold, and she joins me via phone. Hi, Amanda. Good evening, and thanks so much for your time.
Good evening, and I'm the lawyer for quite a few of them.
Okay, so not one of them. Thank you for the correction. So government has been clear on this whole issue. They said they were not going to bail out investors of this gold dealership firm. Mind you, the Securities and Exchange Commission equally warned customers of this company when they were investing in it. So where do you come in here? Why do you want government to intervene at this moment?
Yes, because when government departments warn the public, I'm someone who's very much on, Ghana Web, Daily Graphic every day. I didn't see any of these notifications, just as a general member of the public. I mean, Men's Gold was a company I knew nothing about until I had to get involved in this case. And so if you've got these sort of notifications sitting on government websites that nobody visits, it's not exactly an advert on Ghana Web as soon as you log on, you know what I mean, where you're putting people on notice. I do think that government is right to the extent that it shouldn't be their position to be bailing out, 1.8 million investors, etc. But the government has to also look at the practical side about it, which is the human side. The human side is that people are suffering. They're victims because the operation was quite sophisticated.
Amanda, sorry to interrupt here. I have seen quite a number of notices from the Securities and Exchange Commission warning people about Men's Gold. And also, if you say we should play the emotional card, then what about the practical aspect of financing and Ghanaians actually going to use their taxpayers' money to pay for people who were not responsible in the first place, if I should say so?
No, I'm definitely not advocating for government to pay, because it's a lot of money that can be used for roads and different things. What I'm advocating is for government, with the manpower they have, with the specialist skills they have, with the power that they have, to come together in terms of SEC, Economic and Organized Crimes Unit, Financial Intelligence Center, Attorney General giving instructions to CID, who gives instructions to Interpol, and just, for instance, do a financial or a forensic analysis of what's going on with this company,
right,
and present that to the public. And then do a trace where all this money has gone. I mean, people had like $6 million, which was one person. One of my clients, $300,000 US. We're talking about serious amount. I mean, upwards of $10 million US for one transaction.
Right, Amanda, but what will you say to critics who are also saying that it's the responsibility of individual customers to press legal action against this firm, but not government intervening?
Government, for instance, you've got the prosecution. Prosecution can bring a case, CID, in opening the file, because we're talking about just opening. If we remember GFA case, in the GFA case, because it was a financial matter in terms of the company came under scrutiny, the first thing the government did was freeze everything, cordon everything, ensure that assets couldn't be sold, ensure that people couldn't fly, because they said they wanted to get a better idea of the financial footprint of this company. And until they do, everything's frozen. You see what I mean? So that's what we're advocating for here, because there's very interesting things about this company. For instance, all clients paid money into a company called Brew Marketing Consult Limited and not Men's Gold Ghana, though they signed an agreement. These are things. So when you're suing Men's Gold and then all the money went into another company, you're suing the wrong company. All right. So, you know,
all right.
These are the little things. All
right, Amanda. So, well, you've called on government to intervene. If government does not listen to you, what's the way forward for you and your clients?
To tell you the truth, it was just a helpful suggestion because, as you saw with my petition to the Attorney General and to the President, CID, etc., on page 4, I highlighted that, you know, I've had initial consultation meetings with groups of people as well. And, you know, 3 of those groups were the aggrieved customers of Men's Gold. And they said, you know, should government not hold Men's Gold's account in terms of finding out where this money went, holding officers to account?
Okay.
You know, it'll be very interesting in the next election, similar to how DKM microfinance happened. Because if their whole livelihood is gone, if people can't pay for children's school fees, if people can't eat, if people have to fire their staff, that's the reality of the situation. It's not an academic exercise.
All right.
And it's not a political, you know, footnote. It is someone's life.
All right, Amanda, I'm grateful for your time on Business Live. That was Amanda Clinton, who is a lawyer for some customers of Men's Gold. But we understand also that Men's Gold has actually petitioned Parliament, the Parliamentary Finance Committee, to intervene to help amicably resolve the issue with the regulator, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission. It's quite interesting because they actually took the Securities and Exchange Commission to court. But let's hear from former Deputy Minister of Finance, Ato Forsen.
It doesn't matter. A crime is a crime. Government warned people against rape, yet people rape them. So that doesn't matter. What is important? Yes, but you know, but at the end of the day, government doesn't say that because you have been raped and I warned you, I'm not going to prosecute the rapist. Government is running away from their responsibility, and that is a shame. I call on His Excellency the President to use the power vested in him by the Constitution of the Republic to ensure that the perpetrators, particularly the owners of Men's Gold who have committed such a crime, be brought to book, use the power of the state to ensure that indeed the resources of this crime are located wherever it is and be able to recover for the purposes of...
What if it's not enough? What if it's not enough?
You see, assuming somebody has taken 10 million cedis of yours and you can recover 9 million, it's better to recover the 9 million than to say that I'm not going to act at all. I think government attitude is nothing but a failure. Government has failed in this matter.
In effect, you're asking for the prosecution of the management and the chief executive, right?
I am asking the government of the Republic of Ghana, the chief executive of the Republic of Ghana, who is the president of the Republic of Ghana, to act.
And prosecuting. You've already described it as a crime.
Not only prosecution, but to find where these assets are, sell them, prosecute them, and make sure that assets are recovered in a way that the ordinary Ghanaian can get his money.
So, Chairman of the Finance Committee, Dr. Mark Asibeyebwa, has also been speaking about this development.
They want an intervention by the Finance Committee. I don't think we have those powers. The Finance Committee to intervene in a meeting between them and SEC and all that. You know, this has been a busy period, all of December, so we haven't really averted our minds to their request. But we've distributed their petition to all members of the committee, and the generality is a divided committee on this matter, whether to invite them or not.
Okay, but then the general thing is about the funds of the ordinary people and how it can be protected, which is raising all the brouhaha.
The government
is there any intervention that Parliament can bring to bear?
Parliament, is that the business we do here? That would be government. Okay, that would be government.
Do you have any recommendations for government on how we should do it?
No. If it's a charge on the national purse, we cannot do that, you know, yeah.
Ashema, will you agree that, you know, government should possibly intervene and resolve some of these issues so that then those who are losing money
want those who put their monies there. The government want them. As late as February 2017, Men's Gold came to the finance committee, and then we told them what they were doing was illegal. At that point, if anyone wanted to take out their funds, they would have been able to do so.
So those crying now, it's probably their own causing, and they shouldn't be going back to government.
They are crying over spilled milk. Yeah.
And the students have brought this trouble upon themselves, I guess.
Yeah. You know, people are comparing this one to DKM. DKM was regulated by the central bank. So, in a sense, it's like one of the 7 banks that have gone underwater. But Men's Gold was not regulated by SEC, neither was it regulated by the Bank of Ghana.
You're still watching Business Live. We take a short break. When we come back, we do have more on Business Live.
Hi, welcome back. Ghana's chocolate industry is expected to contribute significantly to the country's economy if deliberate effort is made to increase production. That's according to Managing Director of Cocoa Processing Company, Nana Ajenim Boateng I. He spoke at the launch of 3 Golden Tree chocolate varieties in Tema. Kwame Yanka has sent this report from Tema.
The 3 new varieties launched include Premium, Heritage Artisanal and Nutty Choc. Ghana's Golden Tree chocolate is rated as one of the best in the world. Unfortunately, the country has not made significant gains from the chocolate industry. For instance, Switzerland and Belgium, which are the largest producers of chocolate in Europe, continue to cash in on chocolate, with both countries generating between $12 billion and $14 billion of wealth annually from the industry. Ghana, on the other hand, is not earning much from the industry due to lack of capital injection and limited value addition to cocoa. The Cocoa Processing Company has in recent times gone through challenges due to a lack of financial support, but Managing Director of CPC, Nana Ajenim Boateng, is assuring the chocolate company will play an important role in the economy.
So 8.9 to 52 for only 5,000. And that's how we are saying that if we all put our hands together and say, we will not sell the beans, we will add value and get to the tertiary. That is the difference. So if 5,000 is to 52 and CPC has 64,000 times 13 times 13. So 52 billion gross, which you also generate revenue, you create employment for everybody. You have your tax component in there. So 52 times 13 will give you 845 million.
Deputy Chief Executive of Cocoa Board, Emmanuel Opoku, also noted the Cocoa Processing Company will be given the necessary support to become more viable.
All over the world, the processing industry uses a bit of Ghana and then add the cheaper beans from other origins. But our CPC has been processing 100% Ghana. So you can imagine that CPC has been processing, although with the best of cocoa in the world, but at a certain disadvantage to Ghana to stretch forth its hands or our hands and put CPC back on its toes.
Minister of State in charge of Agriculture, Dr. Jelin on his part, urged CPC to focus on value addition.
I have personally taken it upon myself to promote the made in Ghana chocolate during official trips to Morocco and China. This has resulted in the establishment of business relations with chocolate manufacturers in Morocco and an invitation by the Chinese government to participate in its annual Tree Expo in 2019 for the first time ever.
The cocoa processing company is listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange but has recorded poor performance in recent times.
The Group Chief Executive Officer of Databank, Kojo Adaimensa, has described 2018 or the 2018 financial year as a tough one. He says although Databank experienced some decline in total deposits, the bank was able to keep its head above water.
2018 started very well, I must say, especially on our stock markets. The whole investment environment looked very, very encouraging and promising. And by March, April, the stock market was already returning north of 30%. And so things were looking good. We were all excited, and our clients were also very, very happy. Unfortunately, I think 1st August happened. And when 1st August happened, we started having a really, really difficult time. And by 1st August, I mean the 5 banks were consolidated. And it just brought confidence in the financial services industry crashing. And as I speak today, the stock market is returning probably just about 1%. So you can see the fall from 30% all the way down to 1%. And then even in normal fixed income products, we had the problems where now, because of the consolidation or after the consolidation, clients couldn't get their monies out of various investment houses. And that took away all the confidence in the whole industry. So at Databank, we started feeling the effects very, very, very badly, where deposits completely shrunk by as much as 70, even at some point 80%. But we are not perturbed, or we were not perturbed, because we know how we run this institution. I think we have one of the best governance structures you can ever get.
Telecoms giant MTN Ghana is supporting the establishment of a forensic lab to assist police deal with mobile money fraud and other forms of cybercrime. Mobile money fraud and armed robbery attacks on agents have affected efforts to achieve a cashless society. Nanaya Ojima witnessed an award ceremony for mobile money agents in the northern sector and filed this report.
Though mobile money services have gained ground in the country, providers fear customer interest could dwindle if fraud persists. Manager of MTN Mobile Money Service, Elhini, believes vigilance on the part of merchants and clients is the first towards ridding the service of fraud.
The police is actually to help the police in their investigations, because when they have these tools, they're able to identify people, especially when they go to crime scenes and they pick leads from there, fingerprints and other things. It is in this facility that they're able to interpret and understand who and who was at the crime scene. And as part of that, we also are engaging our agents. So we will start taking details of our agents, fingerprints and other things, just so that by the time we set you up as an agent, we are sure that you don't have any criminal records. We've done all those background checks. So those would also be part of it. And then
he also emphasizes partnership with police. The telephone company will from next year take relevant information on agents and their location to help police effectively monitor their activities. Agents have become targets of robbery, being at its peak in the middle of the year. Mr. Heaney reveals the company is looking at mapping all agents to help quicken police response when agents are attacked physically by robbers.
When they've done all that, then what we are saying is that with the registry and picking their location, when there's any issue and the police need to come in, they will know where they are and they can easily assist them. The other thing is we are working with insurance companies to develop insurance policies for our agents, so that should in case something happens, they have something to fall back to. And we also, beyond all that, we are also working to ensure the police can have a quick or rapid response to agents.
All right, Christmas is here upon us. That'll be it for tonight's program. Yes,
yeah. I want you to sing a Christmas song in advance.
Which one?
We wish you
a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, but not just yet.
Master, is that your voice?
All right, there's more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Do read our stories, articles online, and we'll be back on Monday with more of Business Live, except it may be just be Sunday.
Because you'll be chilling with us.
Because I'm taking a break. See you next week.
All right, see you.